Per arrivare là sopra, qui ci sono altri disegni. Dei libri. Ah, ecco che sembrano delle formule chimiche. Infatti qua c'è un libro di chimica. Credo di dover andare da qua, presso questo sentiero.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services. But although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
Chi è Esther? Ci sono dei relitti di alcune navi. Qui c'è qualcosa. Solo robacce. Ho visto camminare qualcuno. Oddio. A mo' di allucinazione proprio. Forse è un po' di suggestione. Ero sicuro di aver visto un'ombra, una sagoma. Non c'è nessuno adesso. Qui praticamente
There must be a hole in the bottom of the boat. How else could new hermits have arrived?
cioè lì si vede ancora l'antenna. Qui c'è un altro disegno che probabilmente si riferisce all'antenna. Di nuovo, ho visto di nuovo l'ombra. Allora conviene andare di là, visto che ho le allucinazioni conviene proseguire verso la sagoma. Il sedile di una macchina. Ecco, mi sa che là. Cioè, se non lo guardo direttamente è là, se no scompare.
All night the boy has kept me lucid. I sat, when I was at the very edge of despair, when I thought I would never unlock the secret of the island, I sat at the edge, and I watched the idiot boy blink through the night. He is mute, and he is retarded, and he has no thought in his metal head but to blink each wave and each minute aside until the morning comes and renders him blind as well as deaf-mute. In many ways, we have much in common.
Cioè? Finisce qua? Boh. Oddio. C'è qualcosa che non mi quadra. No, da qua si sale verso la sommità della collina, il promontorio. Ma io praticamente sono venuto da qua. Devo raggiungere l'antenna. Diciamo che camminando a questa velocità si rischia un po' di addormentarsi. Però sarà stato fatto.
I had kidney stones, and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape, and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
Suppongo stia parlando di Esther. Questa Esther, che non sappiamo chi sia.
When I first looked into the shaft, I swear I felt the stones in my stomach shift in recognition.
Meglio non sporgersi. Dear Esther, cara Esther, lì c'è una casetta.
begun my ascent on the green slope of the western side. I've looked deep into the mountain from the shaft, and understood that I must go up and then find the way under. I will stash the last vestiges of my civilization in the stone walls and work deeper from there. I'm drawn by the aerial and the cliff edge. There is some form of rebirth waiting for me there.
Oh. Dobbiamo salire. Mamma mia, che musichetta. Musichetta angosciante proprio.
The bothy was constructed originally in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders. He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Andiamo nella casa. Qui ci sono altri disegni. Lì c'è la mia solita antenna.
Inventory. A trestle table we spread wallpaper on in our first home. A folding chair. I laughed at you for bringing camping in the lakes. I was uncomfortable later and you laughed then. This diary, the bed with the broken springs. Once asleep you have to remember not to dream. A change of clothes. Donnelly's book, stolen from Edinburgh Library on the way here. I will burn them all on the last morning and make an aerial of my own.
Non ho capito se sta parlando di se stesso questo. C'è una foto. C'è qualcuno là dentro. Si capisce. Qui c'è un'altra casetta. Dove essenzialmente non c'è niente. Oddio, continuiamo. Continuiamo verso l'abisso. Ecco. Lì c'era qualcuno là dentro.
Jakobsen's ribcage, they told Donnelly, was deformed, the result of some birth defect or perhaps a traumatic injury as a child. Brittle and overblown it was, and desperately light. Perhaps it was this that finally did for him, unable to contain the shattering of his heart. In half-light, his skeleton a discarded prop, a false and calcified seabird.